This is the Brown here, and this is my DVD updates of Johnny Toes running on Karma. There's the front there. There's the back. It says here this won 3 Hong Kong Film Awards, which is basically the Oscars in China, Hong Kong. Best Picture, Best Actor, Andy Lau, and Best Screenplay. And Andy Lau, he's actually my second favorite Chinese actor, right after Tony Leung, who he usually collaborates with Wong Kar-wai. But basically the story of this is Andy Lau plays as a monk named Biggie, and he wears this ridiculously, like, sometimes realistic, sometimes kind of comic book like looking, overly buffed out, like muscular bodybuilding suits. And his backstory is that, like, years ago he trained as a monk, and a woman he loved got killed by a guy, I think his name was Sun Ko, and he goes looking for Sun Ko in the mountains for 5 years, and he ends up not finding him, and he accidentally kills this dove, and he sits there. Or no, he didn't look for him for 5 years. He sits there for 5 years, meditating and sitting in front of this dove. And then one day he decides to just up and quit from being a monk, and he strips out of his robes and just kind of walks off and goes into the world for being like a bodybuilder, like a male stripper, just doing a complete opposite of a monk's life. And Celia, I think her name is Chung. Yeah, Cecilia Chung. She plays as what's her name? Li Feng Yi. She's a cop, and they're trying to track down this guy who, well, he's actually a monk, but this guy, he killed this one guy, and he's able to squeeze and move his body around into this little canister, and they show up at the crime scene, and the dog sniffs him out, and then they put him at gunpoint, ask him to get out of the canister, and he gets out of there, and he twists his body out like humanly impossible. But that's like they all have like kind of like these superpowers, which is another. This is kind of like Johnny To's earlier film, Heroic Trio. It's kind of like that. It's kind of like within its own world, but this kind of more stays true to the real world, yet being in its own world. But they have to try to find the killer. And at the same time, there is Cecilia Chung, as she's chasing Andy Lau, Biggie, and she's chasing him, trying to get him for illegal immigration crimes, and they're chasing the monk, and both monks cross paths, and a dog is chasing the killer, and the dog ends up getting accidentally shot, and Andy Lau is able to see karma, which is why it's called Running on Karma, and he envisions the samurai beheading someone at the woman, so whenever he sees death at someone, he's can tell that they're going to die, and kind of how they're going to die. He can see it through past lives or other lives before them, and they import him back, and he ends up coming back over anyways, illegally again, but he decides to help her, and to help her catch the killer. And he does some crazy, ridiculous, like, wire stunt, martial arts moves. I mean, only in China can you do, like, film all the stuff the way Johnny To does. He even actually said a quote like that or something about how over in Hong Kong they're able to do things you can't do within the Hollywood system. But this is actually my second favorite Johnny To film, right behind PTU, which you can kind of see a little bit of the PTU in this, with like the scene where there's like they show the street lights and the lighting and the shadowing of the streets. He uses that a lot. Another main thing about To's films is really the main thing, or the main point he focuses on first, is that the positioning of where people are on the camera. That's like the #1 important thing to him. You'll kind of notice his people always positioned a certain way where the way the camera is. But yeah, he helps her capture the killer, and then of course she's gonna die, and he kind of is like, he knows there's nothing he can do about it. He tries to save her, and he tries to save her again, and he's he still sees the image of the samurai the samurai beheading this guy, and then it kind of plays out where it goes back around to the beginning. I don't really want to ruin the ending to this, so I'm just going to kind of stay away from the spoilers there. But the end of the story is basically she knows that she's going to die, so she goes looking for Sun Ko to try and help Biggie. And then Biggie finds out that she's up in the mountains searching for Sun Ko, so he goes up in the mountains to look for her and to try and find Sun Ko also. And the ending to this is really, I mean, it's almost kind of like a Cloud Atlas ending. It kind of goes around like if you do good things in life, that those good things will be like passed on to, like, if you believe in karma, good things will happen to so and so, whoever in the so many generations beyond, and then if they continue to pass good karma. And it's kind of like, 'cause she's haunted by the samurai. He's committed so many crimes. It's like all this bad karma built up. It's kind of like the reason why she's supposed to die. But I'm not really gonna. I'm not gonna tell you the ending, because that would just be spoiling it. But it's a really tricked out, I mean, just amazing ending to this film. And the camera work on this is really different from To's films. He's usually very steady, and like in Exiled, which is kind of Sergio Leone tributes. Like the scenes in there where like the guys keep shooting, they throw up a can and keep shooting it and stays in the air. The one guy goes to get his gun, and every time he goes to get the gun, he keeps shooting it. And then he made another film, Vengeance, which is kind of his To's own remake of Exiled, except for instead of tributing Leone, not only does it tribute Leone, but it tributes Sam Peckinpah and Jean-Pierre Melville as well. But Johnny To's films are just amazing. He's one of my favorites, from my top 10 directors to Hong Kong, a Chinese director. I've really been getting into the To's films lately, because this is only like the 7th one I've seen. I've got 2 more actually up there I need to get around to watching. He films so fast. He makes like 2 films a year. I don't know how he does it. He must just like film and then just jump right into the next film, because that's how many films he makes. It's just like, I don't know how he's able to work that fast. But let me show you this is from Tai Sing, actually. Some pretty good choreography in the action scenes in this. A lot of crazy off-the-wall stuff, like if you've seen PTU or any other Johnny To films like Mad Detective, you'll kind of see what I'm talking about, like Heroic Trio. He does a lot of those, and then a lot of like the Brotherhood films, a lot of like the cop, like Brotherhood or Corrupt Cop films. He stays in kind of like the crime area, the crime thriller area. But I don't really know what all else to say on this. I mean, Andy Lau really is, he's like I said, he's just an amazing actor. And of course To is like my second favorite Hong Kong director, right behind Wong Kar-wai. But yeah, I guess that's my review there on Johnny To's Running on Karma. And thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.